There are times that I feel as if I am sinking endlessly, like a boat with a hole on the ocean. I keep descending without knowing where the bottom lies. If I could only reach the bottom, I might be able to attempt to push off to rise again, but my futile struggles only lead me sink deeper. How can I put an end to this pain, suffocation, and crushing pressure? It's difficult to pinpoint what went wrong and where to begin untangling the mess, like a tangled thread. I want to break free from these emotions, but they hold on like chains. Internally, I am battered, bruised, and sick, but I hide everything behind a mask. As I continue to suppress the pain, the mask becomes heavier, the emptiness grows, and the hole in the heart widens. People struggle to escape these emotions, only to become exhausted and eventually burn out. It's a vicious cycle. At times, it may seem like we're coming back up to surface again, but soon we're pulled down by the next wave that causes another turmoil. These are the emotions experienced by people with a wounded heart. Like being caught in a whirlpool, it's challenging to escape the emotional roller coaster. When riding this roller coaster, even small things can feel significant, and every nerve becomes sensitive, causing us to get hurt by trivial matters. As we become extremely sensitive and suppress our feelings, there are moments when our repressed emotions unexpectedly burst forth. We may be surprised by our behavior, as well as those around us who are puzzled by our sensitivity to seemingly trivial and unimportant things. As we experience these incidents, we hide our emotions more securely and tightly, ensuring they don't slip through the cracks. As a result, our words and actions become unnatural. We may feel like we're hiding well, but others sense our awkwardness and may distance themselves without knowing the exact reason. Feeling people drift away, the wounded person tries to hide their pain, pretending not to notice. However, this only adds to their wounds and makes them lock their hearts even tighter. As time passes in this state, they experience extreme loneliness, but opening their heart becomes increasingly difficult. A wounded heart can pull a person into despair, like a boat with a hole. There are various causes for emotional pain: a chemical imbalance of neurotransmitters, untreated wounds inflicted by close people, or self-inflicted wounds and burdens due to blaming everything on self. The treatment and approach may differ according to the cause, but one must recognize their pain. We tend to respond well to physical pain. Whether it's a cold, body aches, or broken bones, rest is a significant part of the treatment. We don't expect someone in pain to labor physically. We insist they rest, eat well, take medicine, and conserve energy to fight the illness. Then our bodies gain strength, overcome the pain, and we return to normal life. But what about when our hearts are hurting? Do we allow them to rest? Unfortunately, most people view emotional and physical pain as separate issues. However, a recent study revealed that the brain treats emotional pain the same way it does with physical pain. Our brain perceives both as equal. Just as our bodies can catch a cold, ache, or break, our hearts can catch a cold, ache, or break too. The English term broken heart seems appropriate for a wounded heart. Caring for the heart when it is in pain is as important as caring for a sick body. Just as even the strongest bones in our body take a long time to heal once broken, and we must be extra careful with that part of heart, we must also realize that it takes time for our hearts to heal from brokenness. Like a cast for a broken limb, our hearts need a special cast to protect and nurture them. Just as there are fever reducers, anti-inflammatories, and tonics for our bodies, our hearts need similar treatments when they are hurting. Ironically, the best medicine for a person's heart comes from relationships. However, if we blindly and recklessly accept help from anyone, we risk greater harm. Just as there are people who can truly care for us when our bodies are ill, and others who make us feel even worse, not all relationships are suited to heal us. It is important to surround ourselves with people who can support our hearts and help them heal, like a strong cast. When our hearts are in pain, we must be courageous in cutting away the things or people that continue to hurt us if needed to, but we should not isolate ourselves. We need to meet people regularly and be open to new encounters. The more alone we feel, the more we need to meet others. Being alone for long periods can trap us in our own thoughts. We don't have to show our pain to others, simply spending time together can be healing. Such relationships may not appear immediately, but like finding the right medicine for a difficult illness, healing from relationships requires multiple attempts. An important aspect of healing is rest. If we force our hurting hearts to work hard in new relationships, it is like forcing an injured body to perform physical labors. We should prioritize meeting people who make us feel comfortable, even if it seems selfish at first. Just as an injured person needs to care for their wound and avoid overexerting themselves, this is necessary for healing. Just as regular exercise is necessary for a healthy body, the heart also needs exercise. How can we exercise our hearts? Meeting people can be one form of exercise, but watching good movies or reading good books can also be a form of rest and exercise. The key here is the quality of these experiences. There are stories that touch our hearts and can help us grow. Personally, I find animated movies made for children and films based on true stories to be especially heartwarming and healing. Reading books about other people's lives can also help us indirectly experience and strengthen our hearts. A healthy heart creates a healthy body, and a healthy body creates a healthy heart. Both are important. When our hearts are in pain, we should not ignore it, thinking it will get better over time. Just as ignoring a cold or a fever can worsen the illness, neglecting a hurting heart can cause deeper pain that lasts longer. Let us care for our hearts as we do for our bodies. To lift a sunken ship from the water, we need a much larger ship that is capable of withholding the weight of the sunken ship. If ships of similar size of our sunken ship try to lift us, their efforts may cause them to sink as well. However, most people's ships are of similar size. People may provide temporary relief like fever reducers or anti-inflammatories, but only God can lift us from the depths. Complete healing comes only through God. We need only remember His promise. Call upon me in the day of trouble, I will deliver you, and you will honor me, Psalm 50:15. Many people experience heartache today. Those who have not experienced it may find it hard to understand, but those who share the experience can certainly empathize. Our wounds of past can serve as a fever reducer or an anti-inflammatory for someone else. Words from someone who has experienced similar pain can be more comforting than any other words. In truth, when I am in pain, I struggle to understand why I must endure such suffering and may even feel angry. However, I believe that everything happens for a reason. There is a saying that salt is both the scars and tears of the sea. These wounds and tears of sea are used in the world to prevent decay and seasoning for our food. Just as sea salts, I believe that our wounds and tears can also be used to lead people to God in unexpected ways, preventing decay of souls and seasoning people to be better. Perhaps the purpose of our pain is to serve the world as a salt for others, which is the role we must bear in life.